welcome back after a break. And right now I'm not here alone. So one of the Canadian Zwelmi important member is with me. But let me give you a little introduction of this very member of the Canadian Zwelmi. Born in the Transvaal, one of the proud Springboks with me. And his name is Davy Jacobs. David Jacobs, known as Davy, and you will be familiar with Davy. That Davy was a part of the Mumbai Indians and he was sold out to the Mumbai Indians in 2011 in the IPL, one of the franchises in the IPL, in $160,000 US, and later on have a unique honor of playing the Caribbean Premier League CPL in 2013, and he was also the winner of the 2009 Super Sixes tournament being held from the South African team, winning the tournament, and Davy was one of the important members. Davy is an outstanding wicketkeeper. Davy is an amazing hitter of the ball, and one thing you must not forget, and one of the proud opening partners of the batting legends and the Indian god Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. He is having the honor of opening with Sachin, and also he is having the honor of keeping the wickets of Lakish Melanga and lot others, including Munaf Patel. And just like the spinners, he was keeping the wickets for them. Yes, Davy, how are you?
Yeah, good man. Thanks for being here.
So, Davy, first of all, my first question: how is all about the Springbok all the way coming from South Africa to Canada? That transition.
Yeah, I retired quite young. 2015, I retired at 32. I think my dad is still upset because you're in your prime as a batsman at 32.
That was regarding your injury?
Yeah, a lot to do with injury, but also I have two young daughters at the time when they were 3 and 6 years old. So I always knew we were going to leave South Africa. So I didn't want to wait too long because they started growing up. They had to go to school. So I decided I was going to retire, and we were actually going to move to Belfast, Northern Ireland. So I came to Canada just to do 2 camps for Derek Pereira with the Ontario Cricket Academy. 2 high performance camps and maybe play for a month or 2. That was my plan. From here I would have flown to Belfast. My wife and my kids would meet me there. So I was here for 2 weeks, saw the academy, saw the quality of cricketers and the potential here.
It was those days when you went to the Northamptonshire, or it was before that you were playing for them the county?
No, it was after that. It was when I decided. This was now in 2015.
Yeah.
When I decided, okay, I'm done. So I thought I was going to move to the UK. So I literally called my wife and she didn't know what was going on. I just said, you don't understand what it's like here in Canada. Amazing country and lots of potential with the cricket. And I love this academy. Plan C, Canada. We're coming here. So I actually never left. I'm still here. So now we're settled.
Davy is an original proud Springbok, but he is loving Canada like anything. In every interview and in every meeting, he is saying that Canada is one of the amazing countries. Davy is having the honor of playing from the South African A side and about more than 90 matches before his retirement with this highest score of 200 plus. I think 218 it was?
Yeah.
218 it was. And Davy was an important part and parcel member of the team Warriors, and later before that he was also playing with the Eagles. And I want to ask Davy that Warriors were the Davy team, but one of my favorite teams in those days were Cape Cobras.
Yeah.
From where Herschel Gibbs and
man.
those players were coming. So who was giving you the tough time over there?
At the time, during the period where the Warriors dominated South African cricket, the domestic cricket, I think the Cobras, funny you say that, the Cape Cobras, they were actually the toughest competition. The Titans in Pretoria, the team where De Villiers and Duplessis, those guys played, they're always strong, always strong. But yeah, during my time, the last few years, definitely. But I mean, the Cape Cobras is a big favorite in South Africa among all players, because if you play for them, you more than likely you live in Cape Town, and Cape Town is an amazing place. Yeah, it's one of my favorite cities in the world, actually. But yeah, like you said, how I feel about Canada. I've been lucky to travel the world with cricket. I've been to most countries around the world in terms of cricket. For me, Canada is the best one in the world, without a doubt.
Okay, coming back to the topic, Davy. Now, coming to the Pakistan Super League, and slowly I'm coming towards the Canadian League and the Canadian Zalmi. Pakistan Super League, the idea generated last year, the first edition. What was your feeling? Because Pakistan, one of the dominating nations of the cricket, but last of them to jump into the league because of certain crises in the country.
Yeah.
Lot of leagues started, IPL started, Caribbean League, Aussies started the leagues, and even Bangladesh started the league. But the Pakistan was the last one. What was your feelings when the franchises were launched?
I was excited. Not surprised at all. I knew it would come. I mean, Pakistan has always been a powerhouse in world cricket. They've won World Cups, and I mean, they have legends of the game. People we admired when we grew up, guys like Inzamam. Not to talk about the modern day guys. I mean, it was always going to happen. And they've had some troubles over the years. You know, they had to play their cricket in Dubai and all that. They found a way to make it work. Now they've found a way to launch a T20 competition as well. I mean, the majority of our players here in Canada and the academy are from India and Pakistan. A few from Sri Lanka, a few from the Caribbean, but mostly India and Pakistan. I mean, quality cricketers, good players around the world. No different than here in Canada. I mean, it made me make a life-changing decision from moving to a different country to here, just going on the country and the quality of players I saw.
David, you talked about Inzamam. What was your age when Inzamam was run out by Jonty Rhodes? Do you remember that slashing stumps?
It's 92, so I was about 10.
So you remember that run out?
I remember that because it was in Australia. So, am I right?
Yeah, it was in Australia.
The World Cup was in Australia, so
Pakistan lost a match.
Yeah, the time difference in South Africa is massive. So my dad and them, they would wake us up at like 1 or 2 in the morning. Yeah. They would have a barbecue going. They would be socializing, and then we were watching the cricket.
After a long time, South Africa was back to the international circuit.
That's the thing. So no one missed the game. So we would sleep during the afternoon, so we could stay up all night to watch the game. So yeah, I'll watch it live. And now to this day, Jonty is one of my closest friends. We speak often. He's a great, wonderful person, and I mean, he's a legend. And we've spoken about that moment. I mean, it's timeless, it's immortal.
In Dubai, in the Pakistan Super League and the Master Champion League, I had a chance to meet him, Jonty Rhodes. So I was just talking about that World Cup. You just refreshing my memories with a right click. You just tell me, when South Africa was out as a 10-year-old Davy, what was your thinking when South Africa was out? The 23 runs needed on the one ball. Some of the stupid rules made at that time by the ICC. Yeah. What was your feelings?
I don't know, man. You can't believe it in that moment because it doesn't register. You don't know what's going on because it doesn't make sense. And I was a kid as well. Like before the rain and all that started, we knew we were going to win. My dad kept saying to me, "We've got this, we've got this." And I mean, Dr. Lewis and things. If that was in place, it would have been different. But I mean, South Africa's gone through a strange phase. I mean, that happened. The '99 World Cup. I mean, that I remember that clearly. I was in grade 11.
Lance Klusener
and Donald, and
horrible mix-up.
Yeah, the worst part is they tied the game. They didn't lose that game.
Yeah, but the Super Six, the one in the points, they will go the decision before the tournament. So, what do you think about this phobia of South African cricket in the semi-finals? Is this anything special, mythology going on in the semi-finals?
There's definitely something going on. I mean,
semi-finals, boom, and something is going on.
And most tournaments, South Africa will be the favourites, right? They would dominate the pool games, world-class players, and for some reason, you know, they just get stuck. We always get stuck at the pool games.
Last World Cup, one of the ex-South African.
I was just going to say now. I mean, Elliot, this guy, we played against each other at school level. South African schools, initially our first-class careers, we played against each other in the domestic circuit. And this guy, he literally knocked us out of the semi-final by hitting that 6.
What a wonderful gesture for the game of cricket when he came to the Lance Klusener. When he came to Dale Steyn and picked him up. What a pleasant moments for the gesture, and this is what we are about. Game of cricket is all about. So coming back again to the Pakistan Super League franchises. Now finally, as I told, that they have announced that the Global Zalmi World Cup will be happening every year. So now the first game of Canada Zulmi, the opening game of this World Cup, will be between the Canadian Zulmi and the England, the London Zulmi. So what are the chances?
Yeah, more than anything, you know, this tournament for our players and for all the players coming from different countries. For me, it's a massive opportunity. You know, most teams will be young. And all you need in life, any talent, you just need opportunity. Any talent without opportunity is a waste. Now this, what I've explained to our guys, is a massive opportunity. Say you do go there on this tournament in Dubai. You don't do well individually or as a team. You don't lose anything. You gain the experience of playing on that stage, getting to meet some of those people, experiencing different cricket conditions. It will be amazing. But if you do pull something off great, you get 100, we get a 5-4, or you just consistently win games at the end for your team, this can change your life. You can get picked up there, you can end up in the Pakistan League, the Super League, and then what? Your life could change. All these guys are working. I know for a fact all these Canadian guys, they're working or they're students. You go there, you do something silly, something amazing, in 1 week your life can change forever. So,
yeah,
unbelievable.
As JV told, your life could have been changed with a one hit or with a one ball or with a one amazing game. Yes, it is correct. Out of this Global Zelmi World Cup, the 2 lucky players would have been given the seat to sit on the bench of the Peshawar Zelmi during the 2nd edition of the PSL Pakistan Super League tournament to be held in Dubai next month. So, regarding this game, when you are playing against England, London Zelmi, what are your chances? 50-50, 80-20 or 60-40? The bold question, the bold answer.
The right answer is definitely any T20 game is 50-50. Even if a school, a club team is playing against a country and national team, it's always 50-50 because a T20 game, you can win and lose a game in 1 over. Because 1 over goes for 30, or you pull it back with a ball, you take 4 wickets in 1 over. Like those things happen. You can win or lose a game in 1 over. So every game, at any level, 20 over cricket, it's always 50-50.
After Abrash Khan, what are your key hopes? Key figure you are seeing the potential who will perform for you or you are hopeful after Abrash?
Yeah, I don't want to single out players, but obviously you know about Abrash, he's a captain.
I mean the game changer.
Yeah, I don't want to put pressure on any players.
Klusener.
Oh, you want a Klusener?
Game changer.
Okay, so I'll give you a player similar to Lance Klusener, a guy who can bowl fast and who can hit the ball, is Rayan Pathan. He definitely falls in that category, and you know that's why T20 cricket suits his game. He does really well in domestic cricket in Canada. He's certainly one of the best hitters in terms of ball striking I've seen. And we're talking about Gale and Russell and Pollard and Dhoni and those guys. This guy hits it as clean when he gets going. But I mean, we've got a very good team. Like I said, it's a young team, lots of guys with lots of potential. We've got good spinners. And you know, all the other teams will have this as well. So I'm excited for everyone, for every team going to that thing. Because like I said, like you also mentioned now, it can change your life. It's an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah. And one thing, Devi, I have seen in the past about seeing the Canadian players. I met them in the Dubai and I saw them playing like Ichima, like Ashish Baghai.
Yeah.
They are the wonderful clean hitters of the ball and they having literally the potential to throw the ball out of any arena. But as soon as going to the when they touch the international format versus the international team, they are not in that in that mode, or I don't know what's the thing. They are not in that finest mix I have seen. That is the pressure of the international cricket, or in their mind the key figures, the key bowlers, and the pressure of the key bowlers. What's the their mind while playing the international games?
I think it's a combination of things. You know, there's obviously a lot of pressure the higher you go up. The bigger the audience, obviously the more pressure, the more nerves will be. But I don't think that's a key component in this. I think it's because, you know, we have challenges in Canada in terms of the weather. It's never going to change. So these guys, if you take the under-19 Canadian team, the last World Cup where Abrash was captain actually, just as an example, okay? So they'll prepare for 3-4 months indoors in the winter. They go from here to a World Cup. Then they compete against other under-19 kids from India, England, Pakistan, wherever. We've been playing the whole year. For 12 months you can play outside. So in Canada you do not have that luxury. You have to train indoors, which is okay, you can get away with it. But match practice is nothing better than playing games. So for them to really try and fix this problem or get better at that, Canada needs to start sending teams in the winter, sending them to South Africa, Australia, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, wherever, Dubai, you know, play games. For any World Cup qualifying tournament, you've got to go somewhere for a month. You've got to play like, say, 10, 12 games before the tournament. You can't play your first and second game in a World Cup, you know? It's a lot of pressure. You're rusty. You're rusty when you start. By the time you get to the third or fourth pool game, everybody's comfortable, start hitting a stride. By then it's too late out of the tournament.
Yeah. And Devi, regarding Abrash Khan, Abrash, you have heard, he's the born baby of this academy.
Yeah.
He's a true baby of this academy. So who are the other players? All the other players are from the same academy, or from coming, you are merging them from the different sides of the Ontario or from other states of the Canada? Because Abrash, I know that he's since beginning, when he was quite young, he joined this academy and he's a baby who just is producing cricket, and he excelled through this academy. But else than Abrash, any other key figures?
Yeah, Abrash obviously came through a system, like you say, he grew up at this academy. He's got wonderful potential. I mean, a genuine all-rounder, beautiful action with the ball, but I'm very excited about his batting. He's a top order batter. And the rest of the squad, a lot of them are from this academy, but I mean, it's a balanced thing throughout Canada, throughout Ontario, the team we put together. So, yeah, young team, lots of potential, and you know, it's basically put together a team of guys who are hungry, guys who do not always get this opportunity, guys that work, you know, they play their club cricket, they work hard, but guys that deserve this opportunity. You know, everyone is not that lucky in life where you get this opportunity and say, there, go for your dream, here's your chance. Some people never get a chance. I know one of the players actually, he had a chance when he was really young, and he got injured and he thought he was done. He never thought a second chance would come along, and we spoke about this a week or two. I said to him, you thought you were done.
Yeah.
There's one more shot.
And Devi, don't you think that Canada is little harsh, or America is little harsh on the cricketers in this sense? When Devi was there, when Lance Cruiser was there, Pollock was there, and those people were there, those were professional cricketers. Their whole idea was to play cricket. But here in Canada, you have to see for your future. Cricket is always not cricket cannot always guarantee you the future. So a lot of parents and lot of back home people, they cannot dispose their kids at the stake of cricket, the future of their kids. So regarding this, that Canada having a bad weather, harsh weather, so how you are seeing the perspective to produce the great players? If the scenario is like this, you cannot get the likes of the legends of the cricket from the Canada. So anything in your mind to overcome these difficulties? And just like, as I think I was hearing Abrash also said sometimes in the past that Rabada, he was bowling with him at that time in the under 19 in the last World Cup. He was playing when he was first time, I think, captain at the 130. And later on I heard that Abrash was saying that the same guy, he was getting the opportunities and he was focused and not like Abrash, and he was only cricket. And now he is bowling 140 plus, and you have seen how he has performed against Aussies.
Yeah,
and pinning down Aussies, professionals like Aussies is not a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier in that sense if you're in a test playing country like South Africa, for example, like you're saying now. If you really stand out at school, you can bowl fast, you score lots of runs, you're going to get opportunities, you can get signed early. I was lucky I signed when I was 17 because I got runs early on, right? So there's a pathway there. Now the challenge here is that pathway. And that's the one thing Derek and I have discussed since I've met him, and he's been working on it for years as well. It's creating that pathway. Now, he pulled it off once already. The first pro player ever out of Canada is Nikhil Datta, who also came as a kid through his academy. Right? So he came through a system, played for Canada, was identified, got picked up, played in the CPL, played in the BPL, he's in the IPL draft. So there's a pathway. What makes it easier here is it's harder to make it in South Africa. It's harder to make it in Australia or Pakistan. So many players there. There's not as many cricketers here. So it's almost easier to get onto the international scene, to play for Canada, to try and qualify for World Cup, to be seen. I mean, there are so many players who play first-class cricket around the world and never come close to playing for their country. Here you can do it quickly. You perform at the qualifiers, go to the World Cup, perform there. Also, direct pathway to these T20 leagues around the world. So it's a good and a bad thing, but it's the fastest growing sport in Canada, that's cricket. So I'm very excited about the next decade. I can't imagine where it's going to be in 10 years.
So thank you, David, too much for your time, and I wish you good luck and your team, Canadian Zalmi. I hope in this Global Zalmi World Cup, your team run with the flying colours, and we may come after the Global Zalmi World Cup to you, having a views, what were the defects, what were the benefits, how the Canada played, but it's a long stories to come, but we will have to wait. So stay tuned, and thank you very much, Davy Jacobs, and good luck and best of luck to the Canadian Zulmi and to you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Keep tuned to Eavaz. Keep seeing Match Point by Dr. Adnan. We will be right back after a short commercial break.